Hello and welcome to Cisco's Virtual Kitchen. My name is Lisa Evangelos. I'm very excited to be with you today and to be hosting the Culinary Federation Chefs in the Field series. We're happy to be back after a brief little break over the summer. For those of you who may not know, the Culinary Federation is a professional association of chefs, cooks, and culinary partners across Canada. And our Chefs in the Field series is all about connecting with those members and partners across the country, the continent, and even the world to get together and have a chat and showcase what they do. So today, we're going to travel all the way to beautiful British Columbia, but I'll share a little bit more about that after the intro. Awesome. Welcome. We're so excited today to have this episode with one of our members of our North Vancouver Island branch, coming to you from Comox Valley. We are excited to introduce Brian McCormick from Clever Crow Farms. Good morning, Brian.
Morning. Hello. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you here today. And just that intro, that music, it's got me all amped and excited to talk to you about what you do at Clever Crow Farms. So just going to jump right into it. I want to know all about Clever Crow Farms. Please tell us, how did that start for you?
Well, that started like 12 years ago. Started by making sea salt, actually. It didn't actually originate as a farm. We started going down to the water and grabbing just buckets of seawater and boiling them off on our stove at our home in Courtenay at the time. And we just, through a process, learned how to make nice flaky crystal sea salt, like sort of in the like Meldon. And then we started some different flavors and selling that at the farmer's market. And then we sort of decided to add some herbs and spices to that line. And then I decided, why don't we just grow some of the herbs for these products and we can sell that at the farmer's market. And then me and a few friends decided to lease an acre of property and started like a sort of a small farm business. And we were really happy with the direction that was going. And here we are. We decided to buy 5 acres in Black Creek, which is on Vancouver Island, halfway between Courtenay and Campbell River. So still nestled in the Comox Valley. And so on this 5 acres, we grow on about an acre and a half actual bed space, actual growing area.
Amazing. And so you are streaming to us live right now from your storefront.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful. I can see all behind you, the produce, some of the products. What else? So you've started with sea salts. What
so
else?
We started with sea salts, and so over here we have our display with the different sea salts and stuff that we have now. There's at least 10 different varieties of sea salt, and we do have some seasonal ones that change throughout the time. And then we have our herbs to Comox Valley, which is sort of our play on herbs de Provence. And this has everything that we grow on the farm. So all the herbs that are in this blend, we grow here. And then the rest are, a mix. Like I can't grow peppercorns. I wish I could, but it'd be kind of neat. But so there's some spices that we have to import, and we bring those in as whole spices, and we grind them, and we make the blends. And on our counter here, we have a selection of our fresh produce and stuff.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Amazing. And so you grow all of these items on the farm?
Yes, we do. Yes. They're all growing here. The habanero peppers and the eggplants and the lovely fennel. I'm so happy with the fennel this year. It's been amazing. And then we have a bunch of packaged products. Many of them are produced here in the Comox Valley. Some of the sauces and mustards and from local fishermen. We have over here.
Very nice. Amazing. And so we got to catch you at a not your busy time of day. So that worked well because I hear that you have lots of customers coming in as you close down your fish season.
Yes, we do. The store has been really busy the last couple of years. This year's been a bit of a transition for us because predominantly most of our sales have been at the farmers market in the past. And this year that's changed where we've kind of stopped going to the farmers market and doing most of our sales out of the store here, as well as wholesale sales to some local grocery stores. There's some wonderful grocery stores, Discovery Foods in Noble Island, who have been great at supporting local producers and stuff, and taking in our herbs and sea salts, and taking a lot of our produce, especially our salad greens, which are really quite known for. In our fridge here, we have a lot of our greens that we sell.
Yes, amazing. I was hearing about these. So this is a mix of all the different greens that you grow on the farm there. Can you tell me some of them that are included?
Yeah, well, there's at least 13 different types of lettuce that we grow. There's radicchio and frisee, lots of arugula and mizuna. There's lots of herbs, like there's some mint in there and lovage. There's also some fennel fronds, kale, chard, we have at least 4 different kinds of kale that get blended into here.
Amazing. And I think
lots of
you're going to show us some of that when we head out of the store. But before we do that, I also was wondering, are you an organic farm?
No, we're not certified organic, but we do follow our organic principles. Most of our fertility comes from compost. So we get composted manure from a dairy farm behind us here, as well as we bring in some chicken manure that is composted. And then I add sort of amendments that all have like real names. They're I use a lot of oyster shells on the West Coast. We have an access to the shellfish industry and their waste of oyster shells. And so that goes into the ground. It helps neutralize the pH of the soil. It also adds a lot of calcium to the soil, and a lack of calcium causes the blossom end rots on tomatoes. So adding this over years, I've kind of been able to build up the calcium in the soil, and I've been reaping the benefits of that. So I try to look for, natural ingredients to use as amendments into the soil. Fishbone meal, which is another byproduct of the farm fishing industry, where the waste is all ground up and dried, and then I use that as an amendment to give it a little boost where needed.
Very cool. So I know that you started your journey that led you to farming as a red seal chef. Is that correct?
Yes, I did. In my cooking industry, my travel to be a red seal chef kind of started a little bit backwards too. I started working in a small cafe in Courtenay, and then through some hard work, one of the owners just offered me to buy into the cafe. So actually, before having any culinary experience, I ended up as an owner of a cafe and sort of taking over the kitchen responsibilities of there. So it was a wonderful education and sort of learning about the business and learning cooking and running a restaurant. And then from there, I went to a local hotel and started my apprenticeship process. And then, I worked at a number of restaurants in town. But I always had this dream growing up as having a small farm. And part of the reason for moving to the Comox Valley was all the beautiful farmland and to some degree just the price, being able to afford to buy a piece of land, because in the lower mainland of British Columbia, it's just sort of out of reach for me to be able to buy a 5-acre farm. So we looked at all the wonderful farms that were here and the great community. We decided to move here and start our journey to start the farm.
Amazing. Okay, well, I want you to for sure give us a little tour of outside. But before we do that, we're going to run a quick commercial and we'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Ryan Smokin, Chief Entertainment Officer at Smokes Poutiner, and I'm bringing you the newest international entertainment show through my partners at Cisco Virtual Kitchen. Can you believe they're actually giving me my own show? You've got to be there! September 30th!
Okay, I wasn't expecting that kind of commercial. So Weird, Wacky, and Wild. That's coming up on September 30th. So if you were into that, you should check that out right here on SVK. Okay, Brian, I'd love for you to take us out onto the land. It looks like it's a beautiful day there today. Let's head out.
Yeah, let's head out. On the way, we can just have a peek in the freezer here. We have some of our chickens, the last of the year, where we have different soups from corn that we grew on the farm, and celery, and basil pesto from our own basil, spanakopita that's made with extra spinach.
We were just talking during the tech check how we're both lovers of soup. And so that's an amazing aspect of being both a chef and a farmer, is that you get to take all of your own stuff that you grow and turn it into delicious food. So what a combination.
Yeah, it's a great way to, it's part of our dream when we started the farm, was to have the commercial kitchen and to be able to use the produce from the farm to make soups and other products that we can then turn around. Like the kimchi, for example, that was I was growing some Napa cabbage, and we grow carrots and the green onions and the garlic. So the only thing that we were bringing in was ginger and the Korean red pepper flakes. And I'm even starting to grow those now. So that was something that I thought, oh, look, we grow all these things. Why don't we put that together into a kimchi and make that? And the same with the burger relish that we make. It's a zucchini relish base, and it has everything that we grow here on the farm: the zucchinis, the onions, the peppers. And some of the seasoning I use some lovage seeds in that kind of gives it a really sort of interesting taste.
Awesome.
Yeah, over here we have some of our squash. We're sort of bursting at the seams. We had to send a little tent out outside to display some of our squash to have room for the bigger items.
Yes, I grew my own pumpkins for the first time this year, and I am not a good gardener, and I got almost 10 large pumpkins for me and my kids to carve this year. So that's awesome.
Yeah, we have a couple little tables over here and some picnic tables for people to sit, and we often have some coffee on, and we make some cookies and granola bars and muffins, so people can sit and have a coffee while they shop or afterwards. And you get a lot of campers out this way, and people coming up for fishing, and sometimes they'll stop in and buy some produce and have a little lunch that they bring for themselves. And
well, it looks like you've created a very beautiful little gathering space for people who are shopping and people who are just coming to enjoy your farm. So what do we have straight behind you there?
Straight behind me, we have a lot of our kale. So we have our black Tuscan kale, we have a red peacock and curly kale, and the red Russian with a little bit of chard ducking behind there, and lots of parsley.
Amazing. Can we get a close-up of that kale, Leah?
Sure, Leah, a close-up of the kale.
That's our camera woman today, your lovely wife and farming partner. Gorgeous. Amazing. And so how many varieties of kale did you say you have out here?
I think there's 5 right now. 4, and then there's a red curly kale down there. So
very cool.
And so the baby leaves get picked and all mixed together, and they go into the salad greens, and the larger leaves will be all sold separately, washed and bagged.
Wonderful. And I think you also mentioned that you include some garnishing edible flowers in your salad mix. Is that right?
Yeah, we do. We do a lot of edible flowers in the salad mix. Just over this way, we have nasturtiums, where we can use the leaves as well as the flowers in the salad greens. There's some calendula down there. This bed's kind of getting to the end. Kind of the season is getting to the end.
Yeah.
And some little Johnny jump ups.
Beautiful.
And then there's a number of other flowers that, seasonally we use in the mix. Shingiku, edible chrysanthemums. They have nice little chrysanthemum flowers that we put in.
Gorgeous. What a beautiful spot you have. And it's a nice clear day.
It is. It's a beautiful day today.
That your home is also on this farmland just down the drive, correct? So you've got a nice short commute each day to work.
Yep. We live just less than a minute away, just up at the house up here.
Yeah.
with a nice deck. And then we have Clever Crow headquarters down here, which is an old barn, which the previous owners converted to residence for another family. And when we saw this property, it was kind of key to have the two buildings and the two houses. And this one with the nice big ceilings, like the large spacious barn kind of feel, we thought would be a perfect commercial kitchen farm store. And here in Black Creek, we're on the Oyster River water improvement system. So we have like piped like regular city water, which made it really easy to put in the commercial kitchen. We don't have to deal with all the issues of well water, and it made the whole approval process really easy. And being halfway between Courtenay and Campbell River, the property prices were really just great. And we're 15 minutes from like downtown Courtenay and 15 minutes from downtown Campbell River. So it's easy to run produce and supplies product both ways.
Yeah, this year was actually for me the first time I had ever participated in like a crop share where you pay a certain amount at the beginning of the season and then you pick up fresh vegetables throughout the summer. Is that something you guys have done before, or something you might think about doing in the future?
It's not something we haven't done that before. There is a lot of farms in the valley that are doing that, so we've kind of stayed away. We just don't want to kind of compete with everyone else, our neighbors and friends. It is something that we've thought about, but actually, in some ways, we find that we get a lot of business from other people having their CSAs because they'll go and they'll pick up the box, and then they'll buy some extra vegetables there, and then they'll stop by here and they'll pick up a couple extra vegetables, just a little box top up. So it works for us that way. So
that's good. And you were mentioning to me prior offline that you have hosted cooking classes before in that beautiful commercial kitchen you have inside.
Yes. We have done cooking classes. That was something else that we wanted to do when we started the farm. And we've done weekend-long cheese-making workshops, and we've done Italian cooking classes and Japanese cooking classes. We've done an assortment, but in the past, they've always been like just a couple a year. But when COVID started, we were looking at all the chefs that weren't working and like what we could do to try to help support these businesses. And so we thought, we have this wonderful fields. Why don't we set up a bunch of tents and we can have a socially distanced, they won't be able to cook and they won't be able limited sort of tasting. But we could, have them display their skills and talents and show them what they can do and promote themselves. So I've been doing 10 or so a year, the last couple of years, down in the field. Yeah. Some great cooking classes. It's just been wonderful, more like demos, but they've just been wonderful and well supported by everyone for sure.
And so when you do those, you bring in guest chefs, or you also do some demoing yourself?
I haven't done the demoing myself. I'm a bit of an introvert personally. So
let's just coordinate and give them the space to do it and just stand on the sidelines.
Yeah, absolutely. And doing it like when it's sunny and warm and people want to sit out in the field, I'm usually really busy with managing the farm and trying to keep on top of the products and all the different businesses that we have going. So it's easier just to have someone come in and provide the space and, supply them with the veggies and stuff. So they'll use like our produce and our spices, and they'll put their twist on it and their sort of signature from their restaurant or business. And so.
Very cool.
I think it's a win-win for everyone.
That's wonderful. I'm so appreciative, also being in the culinary industry myself, for you giving an opportunity for chefs who weren't able to work during COVID, something fun to do, and for an opportunity for them to connect and gather when they were probably feeling quite isolated and, not able to use their passions. I was thinking also about how the position, the job, everything involved in being a chef, and the long hours and the dedication and passion required, and being a farmer, they really complement each other, going from one to the other. In your case, you're combining both. But I just was wondering what your favorite part of being a farmer was.
My favorite part of being a farmer, I like to get out. I like to get my hands in the soil, really. I like to, the seeding, the planting, seeing that tiny little seed, in some cases, like so small, you can hardly see grow into such a large plant. It's just, I don't know. I think that's really wonderful. And just the appreciation of all the customers. They appreciate the good quality food. And being a chef, I know what sort of I expect to see going to from produce to being delivered and stuff, and I have sort of some high expectations of that. So I try to put that forward in the food that I make and the stuff that I grow. And it's nice to hear that back from the people. Like, we had a customer appreciation day here a couple of weeks ago. The Black Creek Community Center had like a fall fair, and we decided to have like a little open house and customer appreciation. And we set out some soups and our salad for free samples for people. And we got letters of support, oh, we appreciate you. You don't have to have a customer appreciation day. We want to do something for you. And it was so nice to hear that. It's wonderful. Yeah, so I guess that's one of the things I really like about farming and what I do and getting into the soil.
Well, it's been so wonderful to chat with you and to get a tour of your farm and of your store and to just get a sense of your passion for what you do. So we're just so thankful to have Clever Co Farms with us today on Culinary Federation Chefs in the Fields series. We will be back next month in October with another special guest. Thank you to Brian and Leah. Thank you to Jay and Cisco's Virtual Kitchen. And that's all we have for today.
You wanna say something, don't try. Then you better get to work now. You wanna do something, don't try. Don't try. Hold tight. I'm gonna do something to try. You will never ever hurt. I'm gonna put something on.